Hello again, everyone. Happy Sunday. So, a question that I have seen a lot recently in Catholic groups, Catholic veiling groups, is do you have to wear a veil or mantilla in order to cover your head? And if not, what else can you wear? What should you wear? How can you wear it? All the different questions. I've said in previous videos, for years I had one veil. It was the Authentic Spanish Floral Mantilla from Veils by Lily. This one right here. Beautiful lace. It has a sewn-in snap clip. And really that was my go-to when I felt called to veil. I wanted to just dive in, so I went all the way. Some people don't feel comfortable doing that, and that's okay, because again, it's not about what other people think. It's about you, what you're comfortable with, and just it's really between you and God. And again, just remember why we're doing this. We're doing this out of reverence and respect for our Lord. We're doing this out of reverence for the Eucharist. We do this in the presence of the Eucharist. We are doing this as a sign of not only respect, but as a symbol of the bride of Christ. So obviously, a veil is the first thing that comes to mind, but it's not the only way. And so I'm going to show you a few things that I have done and a few little tips and tricks that I've picked up along the way. So obviously we will start with the obvious, the mantilla. Again, this is the black and white. It's hard to tell. There's a little black in there, mostly white. Spanish Floral Mantilla by Veils by Lily. And what I would do is kind of line it up here. You take the snap clip, put it where you want it to go, down, and it's just that easy. So this is my favorite for a reason. It's very quick, it's easy, it's lovely. It does not have to be for a special occasion. I've worn this with jeans, even though I'm trying not to wear jeans to mass if I can help it. If you do, that's okay, and you can still wear this. But if you would prefer not to, another thing that I have done is, let's move on to the infinity scarf. Now this was a 2-pack that I got for $5 at Walmart years and years ago, way before I ever thought about veiling, before I ever thought of covering my head again. And honestly, I was never really a scarf person, so these were mostly unused until then. And what I love about this one, I call this my Marian scarf because it's a nice blue and it has a golden glitter into it. So if you have an infinity scarf, or if you have an infinity veil, because some people have said, well, I don't really know how to wear my infinity veil, and I get that. It can feel a little awkward. So there's really no right or wrong way. Again, it's what you feel like doing. So whether this is a scarf or a veil, again, this is about the size that it is. This one's really quite perfect. But if you were to wear it just as is, yeah, that's a lot of fabric. And I know that some infinity veils are this long. And yeah, that can kind of feel odd. So there's a few things you can do. You can kind of let it fall over your shoulders. Or, to be honest, that's not the way I do it. If that's what you do, that's cool. That's fine. What I do is twist it either before or after. So let's say that I throw this on and I wrap it again. So we've got a whole double wrap going here. And you can play with it, put it however you want. But for the sake of trying to make this quick, I would just then take the top layer or whatever and pull it up. And whether my hair is up or down, there you go. And, you know, again, if you want to, cut on my earring. Uh-oh. But whether your hair is up or down, like you could pin it if you wanted to. I usually don't. I just leave it and it seems to sit well. So again, that was super easy. And then when you walk out of church, you pull it off. And again, you just kind of like work it however you want to have your scarf again. But, you know, again, super easy. So whether you have a scarf or you actually have an infinity veil, most of them are long enough that you can do this. So people who are asking and then like worrying about where the seam is, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Like if it bugs you, then just keep wrapping until you figure out like the right place to put it. For instance, right now I've got it more in the back, so when I put it on, I can make sure that the piece that I pull up is not that piece. Seams in the back. Still looks nice. Alright, so everyone see, everyone good, and you can put it as far up or as far as back as you want. I've used this a lot during like trips when I either forgot my veil or just didn't want to risk getting, you know, like having it harmed or damaged. Like this is really great. Also, so let's move on. Let's see how long this like. This was literally like from this morning, damp hair, just like twisted and then taking one of these ties and holding it in. So let's see how long that like holds. But okay, so we've done the mantilla. Okay, this one is pretty, like, let's just get this over with. This is my newest veil. It is just a triangle lace veil. You can either wear it like this, and like I did earlier today, if you saw in videos, I took bobby pins, which have disappeared, of course, but you can just figure out where you want it and pin it. And there is a way to pin it without you having like little bunny ears or devil horns. People call them different things. That bugs me too. There are ways of working around that. Again, just play with it, get used to it. And again, having your hair up can help kind of like give it more to lay over and drop down so that it doesn't want to just like fall right off your head. But if you can sew, I highly suggest like getting a clip. If you don't or can't, or you know, like you just want to leave it as is, that's fine. Again, bobby pins work great. Or you can take this and tie it. Some people feel this is kind of like too old-fashioned, but again, it works. Tie it, it's still lovely. So again, it's whatever your preference is. And again, you can do this with your hair up or down. So another quick, easy hack. So if you don't have bobby pins, like I said, tie it, pull your hair up, like easy. You can always like find a way to make something work. Okay, I'm trying to think what I can do that's not gonna mess up. Okay, here is just a regular scarf, not an infinity scarf. It's not too thick. So what I'm gonna do with this one is, you've got a couple options. Again, since my hair is up, this works best when your hair is up. What I'm gonna do is, you could fold it. You could totally fold it. I don't know if I'm gonna do that for this one or not. I might just leave it alone. I don't know. Let's see. Fold it, don't fold it, like whatever works for you. Let's try folding it. Okay, and make sure we're in the middle here. Or not. Okay, because again, I'm going to show you a couple different like ways to do this. Okay, so if we just folded it, you can go behind the ear and go back, take it back here, tie it, This would be faster if I could, better for y'all if I could just like hit fast forward. I'm sorry. All right, so you can just pull it tight. Now, here's the reason, you've got that part kind of sticking out. This is why, depending on your head shape, the way your hair is, you may or may not want to like tuck this part in a little bit. Okay, so you can either leave it like this, just have these kind of hanging down, right? Or, okay, and because of the way my hair is, I'm going to go ahead and show you a different way with it open full length. Okay, so how to take advantage of that. So you can have it go over this. Kind of like reminds me of a tickle. That's kind of like what the Jewish women would wear to synagogue, or like all the time for most of them. Some Christian women who are messianic would do something like this. But this is like, again, just like a really quick version. I had a friend from Jordan. She was Muslim, but she showed me how to do some of her favorite wraps. And, they have that awesome piece that they like put on over top first to kind of smooth out the hair, get everything the way it should be first. And a lot of Jewish women do the same thing, but I actually learned how to like wear it. Just, it was cool to learn, why not? Okay, so we've kind of done the same thing. We've just done a quick tie in the back. We've got these hanging. You can leave them hanging. And you've got it kind of like covered over the bun. Or, what I'm going to do here, again, I try to like keep it behind my ears. And this is without like adding extra bobby pins or any of that. Like, I should have been more careful on making sure this was even, but, do your thing. Hopefully you won't be like as pressed for time as I was this morning. Okay, so now you can twist it. Now you've got this here. Okay, and again, I know it looks a little funky right now. So if I had been more careful and these were even, this would have been easier. But now that you've got this twist here, this kind of secures it, keeps it all in place. You don't want to go too tight or it's just going to go like falling right off your head, again, depending on the type of hair you have. Then you can take these, again, if you were careful and they were even, and you would just kind of twist and tuck them up under. Let's see here. This looked a lot better when I was like testing earlier. But you get the general idea, okay? So if I had been more careful and it was like the way it was, they were more even, you get what I'm saying. Or if the scarf were a little bit longer, you could tie it again or completely tuck it up underneath. But, okay, so that was quickly done. But you kind of get like where I was going with it. I've done a similar hairstyle with one of the infinity veils, but I had my hair like in a like high top knot and I kind of wrapped it around, but I'm not going to like do that with you guys today. So it's already like kind of started to come off, as you can see, because I was not careful. If you're careful, or if you want to add pins, you could like tuck them up in there, but it's just, it can be really cute. And again, like really kind of stylish if you do it right. Right now, I might look a little funky, but you guys get the basic idea, right? Like, I'm not going to go through the like trouble of doing that again. You guys kind of got what I'm saying. So you tie it, take those extra pieces, tie it at the top of your head, and then twist and tuck. Again, super easy. No need for anything extra, and it works. Or you could do like, like on the side. But I think that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Like you kind of like do it more to the side. So there's like all kinds of ways you can do this, guys. Have fun with it. Okay, so now here are, if you are really truly worried about what people think, you're worried, you want to do, God, you feel like God is calling you to do it, but you don't want to draw attention to the fact that you're doing it. And hopefully over time you get over that. It didn't take long for me too. Like, believe it or not, some people who know me know this. People who don't know me, if you're just starting to follow, I actually have a lot of anxiety, a lot of social anxiety. I don't like people looking at me. I don't like being the center of attention. I cantor at church, and I veil. And, nobody looks twice. Even at the Novus Ordo Mass at our normal parish, where there are more people veiling lately, and so it's not like just me. But when I started out, like I've said in other videos, I was the only one. Like, we might have some visitors here and there, but like on a normal Sunday, I was the only one, guys. And we were going to the same parish as my in-laws. So like my mother-in-law's there, my sister-in-law, when they visited. I'm standing alone here with my veil. And I'm sure some people might have been thinking that she's holier than thou. And I just recently, I don't want to get on a tangent here, but I just recently started watching, and I stopped and just started praying for the girl, because she admitted that the reason she started veiling was kind of for that reason, that holier than thou kind of attitude. And so she decided to stop because of that. I would say that if you realize that you're doing it for that reason, then yes, search your heart, pray, but I wouldn't stop veiling. I would, talk to God and ask God to help you humble yourself. And if you realize the real reason you should be veiling, then you should continue to veil. But that's just, this girl was young. She was like, when she started veiling, she was like in her teens. She admitted she kind of did it because everyone else did. So I don't think she had gone as deep as she could have. And then when she like gave a reason why she didn't, like I said, I kind of stopped watching, because I was like waiting for some like really deep reason for why she stopped. And it turned out it was kind of fickle. So I pray for her. I pray that she, and again, if she decides never to veil again, that's between her and God. But, something made her, I think there was more than just peer pressure. And again, this video is more geared toward people who are afraid, like the opposite. They're afraid of like what people will think. So that's where I'm at now. Let's get back on track, because I know I can make these videos so long. So I got this at Dollar General when I was thinking of a way to like put something on really quickly. Now for my head, like these look super cute on certain people. Me, not so much. It's just like my face and head, it just really doesn't work. So I saved this kind of for last. In fact, maybe I should do this one first, because it's almost the same. But this was actually the last time, whenever I see this, I think of the very last time that we were at Mass before COVID kind of like blew up. And it was Ash Wednesday 2020. And I'm so glad that we made it. We had just gotten down to Florida, so we had like been on a very, very long trip. And my husband stayed home, and that's okay. Like, he was super tired. We had both been, like alternating driving. It was, very obviously exhausting. But I really wanted to go to Mass. And, and obviously we weren't planning on staying long. We weren't planning, which we ended up staying like way longer than planned, obviously, because we were all under quarantine. We couldn't get back on the roads. But anyway, this is one of those twist things, and something is not right here. But again, it can give you, if you use it right, if you do it right, the little, again, these look so cute on certain people, but this is all I had with me because we hadn't planned on being there long, so I had not brought my mantilla. I had not even brought my infinity scarf, which I normally do. I try to have like something with me just in case. This just happened by the grace of God to be in the suitcase. So like God knew I was gonna need it for something. Even though like for as far as I don't normally like wear this. So again, these look really cute on some people, not so much on me, but my hair was kind of the same way, like tied up really quick, just get out the door. So this is like very basic, the very like very barely covered, but again, it's about the heart. It's, you know, why you're doing it. So, you know, when you play with that, these can work great. Also, if you look on websites, you know, they make veils that are either like a kerchief or kind of like this, like barely a headband. So again, it's just about what you're comfortable with. So, like I said, this is that was the last time that I wore this, was for that, and I had a little more time to play with it, so it looked a little better on my head than it does right now. But again, it's just one of those like double, like crisscross kind of cloth headbands, and it just barely kind of covers the, you know, crown of your head. But you know, for someone like me who has made the decision to cover and does not want to go without it, you know, this worked. It was just enough, you know. So if I had walked into like traditional Latin mass, you know what, even then I don't think, because you know, we just went to a traditional Latin mass last week, and there were some women there who still weren't veiling. So you know what, I don't think it would have mattered where I was. And again, it doesn't matter what other people think. It's about you, it's about me, and between me and God, it's between you and God. That's it, that's all. So you do you. So again, like, these are really cute on certain people, so that works for you and it covers enough of your head, you feel covered, like, it's great. Again, like, you can see like what it is and how it should look. It just doesn't look that way on me, but when it's crisscrossed correctly, it covers just enough, and it's cute, especially when your hair is like tied up, even like in a ponytail or something. Like, you guys go check out Pinterest. I'm not a model. Last one. This one, again, my head shape is just not conducive to these kinds of things. So, I feel like it looks a little funky on me. I bought it, and it, you know, as soon as I got home, I was like, this is not working. So, maybe one day. But, like, in order to get enough covering, I don't really feel like it works for me. But for some people, it's great. And again, like, they make things similar on, you know, veiling websites or on Etsy, but you can buy these at sometimes the dollar store. So, like, it's just a piece of, just like a lace headband, and again, it just covers enough, and you can, you know, tuck it under. I could have tucked this under. You can pull more out, you know, whatever like works for your head, your style. But again, super simple. And if you did this, like, again, it just doesn't look good on me, but on certain people, it looks super cute, especially if you let some of it, you know, like, and nobody would know that you were like veiling, if you're worried about that. If you're just starting out, this is a great starter. Just like this is a great starter. Doing just a cute like veil tie. I've used a veil that was shorter than this, and probably about like half this size. Again, it was for Divine Mercy Sunday a couple years ago, and I was asked to participate in a little thing after. It was like a few hours after mass, but again, this was like all I had. The colors were it was like white, it had some pink and blue, so kind of worked for Divine Mercy. Again, it was again one of those times that we were in Florida, didn't plan to be, didn't have anything, but this scarf was still hanging in the closet from like another visit that I had left. So again, it was just one of those things. It just worked out. I just wore my hair in a ponytail, and I twisted it, and I let the little pieces, and again, it was like kind of short, so it only came to like here, but it worked. People might have been wondering like kind of, well, why is she wearing that? But it almost worked with the color of my shirt, and it worked. But again, it doesn't matter. It's all for God, all for Jesus, guys. So last thing I'm going to show you, and I'm done, I promise. I don't know how long I've gone, but probably too long. Look at this. I would show you one of those cute little like church hats. But you guys know what I'm talking about. You can wear those. There's so many cute ones. There are so many different types of like hats that you can wear. Men, it is irreverent to wear a hat, especially like a baseball cap or something like that, to mass, to church in general. I mean, most churches have kind of like just stopped, you know, like come as you are, it doesn't matter. But throughout history, guys, men have taken their hats off. Women have put something on. Okay, this goes back to Hebrew times, from the dawn of Christianity, and it was not just a Catholic thing, even though, like I said, you know, we won't get into how we can trace, you know, it all back to the early Christian church, and this is why we do these things, did them, why we're trying to do them again. We want to preserve the sacred traditions. But this, some of y'all might have seen pictures of me wearing this. It was like a news, and again, with my hair up, it's gonna look a little funky. But when my hair is down, I used to have a couple of hats like this. It's funny, my brothers gave me this for Christmas, and I used to wear hats like this quite a bit, and it was just, and I had not for a very long time. But two of my brothers were really sweet, and like for a combined like Christmas / birthday present, because my birthday is like 5 days after Christmas, they went in and bought me this sweater and this hat. And so when we got back to Tennessee, I was cantouring on a Saturday, so it was casual, so I wore the sweater, and I wore this with my hair like down, and it was cute, and again, nobody looked twice. So, you know, I think that it's like just nice enough, especially when it was winter, to pull this kind of thing off. But, you know, you can wear, I have a sun hat, I think that's a little too much, but you know what I mean by like a straw hat, like a smaller kind of straw hat with, you know, like some flowers in it. You know what I'm talking about, Easter hat, stuff like that. So there's all kinds of different ways. It doesn't matter whether you want to go all the way and wear some kind of beautiful lace veil, whether you have an infinity veil or an infinity scarf, whether you want to start small with something, any of these, like, just do what feels right to you. And again, if you feel God calling you to do it, just do it. Don't overthink it, just do it. So I hope this has helped somebody out there. Let me know if it does. If you have any other tips or tricks, I'm all for it. I love hearing other like ways of, I love hearing how other women have like veiled, especially like in a pinch. I used a shawl once, like a long shawl. Like I did like double it over and ended up tying it, and still had to use bobby pins, but that was for like a whole other like situation. But like, use what you've got, and you know, if God's calling you to do it, it'll work out. For me, it always has, and that's the amazing thing. And that just kind of like, for me, really shows that this is what God wants for me, because never have I ever gone back into a church from the time I started veiling, choosing to veil. I have never walked back into a church without something on my head. And that's not making me I'm not saying I'm holier than thou. That's what God like called me to do. And so I can say honestly that it's what felt right, and from that time on, I've never gone back in without something, and I'm at total peace about that. So I just wanted to share that with you. Like I said, I've had people ask me personally, and I've just seen a lot of like questions about that. So I'll post this on Instagram. My Instagram is private, but I'll post it on Facebook too, and I'll make it public if I can. And then, so like within some of the groups, if you know, if it helps somebody, you know, share it with them. That's it. God bless you guys.